Hello, and welcome to 3-Tune Tuesday for Tuesday, August the 11th. I am your host, Bonaparte, and with me is your hostess, Yulia.
Hello.
So we are not doing this week Today in History song.
Okay.
Because we've just got 3 neat songs.
Cool.
Yes. So we had been chatting with some people that we had, very recently met, not that long ago. And, we were talking about the pod and coffee and such, because they're 2 of our favorite things.
I should mention these were people that we curled with.
This is true. Yes.
We were doing this at a Bonspiel. We were at a competition up at Bucks Curling Club.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lovely people.
Yes.
Really great club.
Absolutely. And curling is maybe our 3rd favorite thing, beyond podcasting, coffee, and curling.
Oh man, it's so hard to pick a favorite.
It is. It is. Yes. And as is often the case, Yulia will strike up a conversation and inevitably find another musician in the group.
Yeah, it's my superpower.
It really is. And so we did. And it came to light that this other person whom Yulia was talking to really enjoys Schubert.
Yes. I believe she said she had just started. Her musical beginnings were not voice, but she began to study voice recently.
Right.
And if you're studying voice, you're going to be doing a lot of Schubert.
Correct. Yes. Yes. And so that very quickly became the theme for this week's podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, this week's episode.
So thank you for the theme suggestion that you didn't really give us, but we took.
Yes, exactly. We're not proud. We'll take it wherever we can.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah, so we have 3 Schubert works this week.
Neat.
Yes. So for those of you who may be only tangentially aware of Schubert or not at all, he was a composer in the 1800s. He had a very short career. He died at the age of 31. But despite that, he might have been more prolific than Prince.
Yeah, he was busy.
Yes.
He was a wunderkind from early on.
Right.
He came from a musical family, which helps, but he demonstrated very early on aptitude for learning instruments and learning music, so much so that he quickly overcame both his dad and his brother.
Right.
Their abilities. They were like, okay, well, we can't teach you anymore, so we're going to have to
right.
send you someplace.
Exactly.
And he studied with some really good. He studied with Salieri.
He did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and by the time he died, he'd written over 600 songs, and left behind more symphonies and piano music and chamber music, and the list goes on.
And there's a disambiguation there that we need to note. When we say 600 songs are sung.
Yes.
Pieces, in terms of like when you're describing a musical work that is not sung, you call it a piece. When you are describing something that is sung, you call it a song.
Okay.
I don't want people to think he only wrote 600 things. No, he wrote closer to 1,500 things.
Right. It was a huge, huge amount.
Right.
Yeah.
600 songs. That's
right.
just
sung songs.
Sung songs. Yes.
Yes.
And they're incredible.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yes. And we definitely have some today.
Lovely.
Yeah. So with that wealth of music available, I had the unenviable task of narrowing it down to 3.
Yeah. Boy, I wonder. I'm curious as to what your process was.
Well, I was assisted by the number of recordings available at the time.
I see.
Not all 1,500 were recorded, not before 1926.
Right.
Okay, so there was ultimately a limit right there.
Right.
I was able to narrow it down.
They probably recorded the hits, right?
Exactly. What people were aware of, what they knew of, what they enjoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. They weren't looking to, at the time, record a deep track, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing, and again, for our listeners, I have no idea what to expect today. Bonaparte picks all this stuff on his own, and then I'm listening to it for the first time, as I'm sure many of you guys are. So I'm going to guess that at least one of the songs is going to be like an aria from one of his operas. I'm going to guess that at least one is going to be one of his art songs, like the term for a German art song is Lied, Lied.
Yes.
And plural of that is Lieder, Lieder. So I'm going to go ahead and guess that you probably have one of those. And he's got a couple big hits.
He does.
In
Yes.
that regard. So, and I don't know, wild card, third choice. But yeah.
Well, the third choice, actually, once I saw it, was like, yeah, that's the one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. So the other two are an unfinished orchestral statement.
Okay.
And, well, we'll get to the second one when we get there.
Okay.
Okay. So the first one is Symphony Number 8 in B minor.
Okay.
Okay. It is, in air quotes, unfinished. And I think that's what leads to a lot of the mystique around it. It's like, why is it unfinished? And it's not that the piece was unfinished. It was the entire move. All three movements were unfinished. He finished the first two. He did not finish the third.
Oh, when did he write it?
He would have written this. I do have this note around here somewhere. Bum, 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 bum. I don't have a note around here because he didn't finish it.
But when did he write it?
It would have been...
toward the end. I'm trying to figure out if it was toward the end of his life.
Around 1820. So it was getting toward the end of his life.
Okay. He was suffering pretty badly at that point.
He was, yes.
There's some debate as to what actually killed Schubert. Some people say it was tertiary syphilis or neurosyphilis. Because of the way that disease works, it can affect all different systems in your body. It just depends on how it chooses to spread and present in your body. There are scholars that argue with that it wasn't syphilis, that it was typhoid fever. But it didn't matter because he did have syphilis for sure, and it caused him a lot of pain. It did.
I'm sure.
He was, toward the end of his life, he was in significant pain, and his friends, it's well documented.
Yes. Yeah.
So it could just be that maybe he ran out of gas. I don't know.
Or he moved on to other things. We will never know.
Well, listen, when the creative bugs, as you and I both know, and probably other creatives listening out there know, sometimes the creative brain is full of squirrels.
Yes.
And you want to chase them all.
Yes.
And sometimes you must abandon one squirrel for a neater, shinier squirrel.
Well, it's true. The squeaky squirrel gets the nut.
I can't follow that up.
Okay, my work here is done. So, nonetheless, correct. He might have just gotten distracted.
Yeah.
Yes. So we have Symphony Number 8 in B minor. This is on a 12-inch Victor Red Seal disc.
That was going to be my next question.
Yes. Because
it has to, it's going to be a little bit longer. It's got to be on a bigger disc.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the neat thing about these shellac discs, those of you who listen routinely will understand when I say this. A 12-inch shellac record spinning at 78 RPM could hold probably at most 4.5 minutes of music. Which means for an entire symphony, we are looking at multiple records, multiple sides to get it all done.
Right.
And sometimes that does lead to some artistic choices. If the piece itself is longer than that, how do you do this? And in this case, we don't have... I apologize.
Oh.
In this case, we are looking at part 2, not part 1. We're listening to part 2 of Symphony Number 8.
Okay, so they divvied it up into discs.
Correct. They had to.
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
Right, exactly.
A symphony can last an hour.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So this is part 2 of however many parts.
Okay.
Now, recorded by the Victor Concert Orchestra. So those of you out there who might be musicians, maybe recording musicians, you will understand when I say that the Victor Concert Orchestra was comprised of the best sessional musicians of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Victor's house band, but for the Red Seal records in particular, they hired the top end.
Best of the best.
Exactly.
So before we listen, I do have a question about the logistics. Because, we always talk about, musicians screaming into a horn.
Right.
which is what it was. You know, everybody kind of gathered around a big horn. With an orchestra, how do you do that? There was no such thing as multi-tracks.
Correct, there was not. This was actually take 6.
Oh.
So they did it 5 times prior, and someone listened to it and said, nope, not good enough.
Oh, no.
Let's do it again.
Oh, no.
No, and I actually wanted to hold off on that discussion till song 3.
Okay.
But we can definitely talk about it now.
Okay.
So the conductor and the arranger would pick and choose. You know, obviously they couldn't get a full orchestra, you know, or symphony to sit in front of the horn. So they would edit the music to be essentially a subset and do their very best to make it sound like it was a full orchestra.
I see. So basically they rearranged the music so like for a chamber group.
Yes,
basically.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. And that is how they would have done it. This was recorded in 1913 in Victor's favorite recording studios in Camden, New Jersey.
Lovely.
Okay.
All right.
It was. So that was a concert band, the Victor Orchestra Band, I should say. That said, there was a name listed on the label, and that was Anton Horner.
Okay.
Anton Horner was a Bohemian-born artist. He trained at the Leipzig Conservatory. Leipzig. And was the principal horn player of the Philadelphia Orchestra for 28 years.
Right, yeah.
He is credited with introducing the modern double horn to the United States.
Oh, cool.
Yes, he got a call out on this in particular.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, couple thoughts. Intonation, they had a couple of intonation issues, and I suspect that it's because, now, as we know, we've talked about this before, but there are unique challenges to capturing stringed instruments with this particular method of recording.
Yes.
It wasn't so much of an issue with like your violins and things, but upright basses, you could barely hear them on recordings like this. So there was an upright bass on this. I heard it, but it was also doubled by a tuba.
Yes.
And because there was like that boom, boom, boom. That was like that's that pizzicato in the bass, the plucked bass that was doing that sort of like that little pulse underneath the music.
Right.
But I also I believe that they were also using a reed organ to fill out some of the orchestra parts that they probably got like a handful of the important musicians. Like there was an oboist in there that they probably they dragged that person in and said, yeah, we need you. Well, maybe a couple flutes, a couple violinists, the string bass, the tuba, and then we're going to use the reed organ to fill out the rest of the orchestra parts that we had to leave out. And that's what organs were designed to do. Organs were designed to sound like ensembles of many different musicians, played by one. That's why, when you go to a pipe organ, say in a church, or a theater organ, they will be named for stringed instruments. They will be named for wind instruments. There, you will see clarinet, you will see strings, sometimes you'll even see vox humana, which is supposed to imitate the sound of the human voice. But I suspect that the intonation issues probably were on account of them using a reed organ, because where they're not as finicky as pipe organs are, which are very finicky. And they're tricky to tune, and they on a hot day, a pipe organ can sound like a bag of wet cats.
Yeah,
and It can also start to do something called ciphering, which means they get stuck open, and so you just hear.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's super embarrassing when it happens. Ask me how I know. But I suspect that the intonation issues that we were hearing they might have come from that reed organ itself. Or it might have literally been the musicians struggling to tune to it, because you can't really tune a reed organ.
Okay.
I mean, you can. There's like little things you can do, but they're not as finicky as other organs. I don't know too much about reed organs, unfortunately. I know that the big maker of that time was I think it's Este. Was the name? It begins with an E. I've not had the chance to look inside too many of those, but I suspect that the tuning issues, I'm always going to blame the organ.
Okay.
Just because.
Okay. Fair.
I feel like the instrumentalist, especially instrumentalists of this caliber, would not. I would not expect intonation issues from these musicians. So they were fighting something technical, and I'm going to bet it was the organ. Just my 2 cents.
Fair. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I'll trust you on that one.
Yeah. That was lovely, though. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I thought it was a nice piece.
Yeah.
Yes. So before we go on to song 2, let's talk about how we sponsor ourselves for this particular podcast.
Yay.
Yes. Many podcasts will say this podcast brought to you by, widget A and fidget B. Not so with us.
Mm-mm.
We're very self-serving.
Yep.
Yes. We sponsor ourselves.
I'm not going to say self-serving. We're self-sufficient.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yes.
Yes, self-sufficient. Yes. Yeah. So we sell coffee at 2 locations, skeletonbrew.coffee and nokings.coffee. It is the sales and proceeds of those coffee sales that help us fund our hosting bills for 3 Tune Tuesday and Blind Skeleton. We have at skeletonbrew.coffee 6 regular coffee. Actually, it's kind of 10, but it's 6 regular coffee, and we'll get to that in a minute, that we do keep up year-round. And they range from a light medium roast to a dark roast, with a little bit of everything in between. The 4 others that we keep up year-round now are a new line that we have that we like to colloquially call, oh my goodness.
Colloquially?
That too.
Wow.
Thank you.
Words are hard, man.
They are. English is, I think, my 3rd language behind bad English and poor English.
Wow.
Yes.
And Canadian English.
And
We're not going to go there.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, those 4 new coffees are a line that we call curling coffees, and they are curling-inspired coffees.
Yes.
Yes.
Because, we like to cross-pollinate our passions.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Wherever we go. So we sell the coffee. We use the proceeds from it to fund 3 Tune Tuesday. And I guess everyone's happy because we're getting our funding and you're getting a really good cup of coffee.
Yeah, and not only that, but by buying our coffee, behind the scenes, you're supporting so many people.
Yes.
We ethically source our beans. We are not allowed to use the term fair trade because somebody copyrighted that.
That is correct. It's trademarked.
That's dumb.
It's the way it is.
I guess, but it's still dumb.
Yes.
But our coffee is ethically sourced by people who grow and harvest these beans for a fair wage.
Yes.
That's important to us because the coffee trade is kind of littered with bad labor practices.
It is.
Really unethical labor practices.
It's almost like child labor in some places.
Yeah. And we're not about that.
Right.
So we all of our beans are ethically sourced. So you're supporting those farmers and the people who harvest that coffee. You're supporting when you order our coffee, we have outsourced the roasting to a small business who does all of that for us. Yes. So you are not only getting ethical coffee, you are getting ethical coffee that is roasted on demand when you order it. So the beans are green until you send us a note and say, hey, we want blah, blah, blah. And we're
exactly.
like, we're on it.
You got it.
We contact the guy, we get the beans, we do the thing, and then the beans show up at your door very, very fresh and fragrant indeed.
Exactly.
But he's a small business. I should say they. I don't know if it's a he or who.
It's run by 2 people, and they have 2 roasters.
Okay. Well, then there you go. Really small business.
Yeah.
So you're helping support them. Of course, you're helping us support the podcast. And you're also donating. We donate $1 from every item purchased on our skeletonbrew.coffee website to public media.
Yes.
And public broadcasting, because that's important to us too. So not only are you getting like a really incredible cup of coffee, but you are helping so many people along the way. And that's just good karma.
It really is.
And as long as listen, I'm sure you all have been to the grocery store lately. You've seen how expensive things have gotten. Our coffee is really not that much more expensive than you're going to buy. Like if you're going to buy a higher end coffee in the grocery store, you're probably going to pay about what we're charging as well.
Absolutely.
So you might as well have your dollars count. Your dollars are so much more meaningful to the people that you're supporting when you buy our coffee.
Right.
We're not big corporations.
Right. It's like any small business.
Yeah.
Every small business out there, truly appreciates and gets more from your purchase than, a large corporation will.
Right. Like a $500 purchase from our website is really impactful for us.
It is. It helps us. Well, as Elia said, it helps the roaster, and it's also a $500 donation to, well, I shouldn't say that.
Yeah,
it's
no,
a $1 donation per item
per item, right?
that we donate to public media.
Right. And I'm not saying anybody out here, we're not saying you should buy $500 worth of coffee. But what I'm saying is like $500 to us is so much, it means so much more than $500 to like, say, Starbucks. Like, what is $500 to them?
Exactly.
Nothing.
Right, exactly.
Right. And they're a big dumb corporation and we don't like that.
Exactly. Right.
So, gold star for you if you buy coffee from us.
Yes.
We really appreciate it. And if you want to, if you are feeling a little subversive these days, as we are, we also have the nokings.com website where we have our kind of double middles to the man kind of political bent there. And we have our 3 roasts there, the Liberté, Égalité, and Fraternité. If you know, you know.
Yep.
And we've got some other fun stuff there too.
We do.
And $2 from every item that you purchase on our nokings.coffee website goes towards supporting Indivisible. And Indivisible is doing some great work in terms of resistance, and we're very happy to support them.
We absolutely are. And I would like to reiterate just what Yulia said. It's $2 per item purchased, not per purchase, but per item. So if you were to buy 2 bags, you know, it's $1 per bag or $2 per bag, as the case may be.
Right.
Yes.
And we've got a lot of, we don't just sell coffee. We have some coffee adjacent stuff on our website as well. And on our No Kings website, we also have some cute...
some fun things.
Some cute fun things that you can purchase to show your support for the resistance.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
So head on over to skeletonbrew.coffee and or nokings.coffee and see what we have there. You can take, I think, is the coffee quiz up on both websites?
The coffee quiz is up on skeletonbrew.coffee.
Okay, great.
Yes.
If you are not sure, if you look at all of our various roasts and you're like, oh, God, I don't know what I want, you can fill out our quiz and we will recommend a coffee for you based upon your answers. And you don't have to do anything weird like give us your email address.
We ask for nothing personal doing it.
Nope. And even when you do purchase from us, even when you do reach out to us, we don't hang on to your information. We don't sell it because that's dumb and gross, and we don't want to do that.
Exactly, yes. We are not Starbucks. We're not out here to harvest your information and sell it for a profit.
Yeah, we don't see you as a commodity.
Right, you are a customer,
You're
and we
a person.
appreciate you, and we want to treat you respectfully, so hopefully you'll keep coming back.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So thank you very much for supporting us.
Moving on, song number 2 is also a Schubert song.
Go fig.
Yes. And this one is, in fact, a song.
Okay.
And I know I am certainly going to not get the name correct, but it is called Erlkönig.
Erlkönig, and I know it well.
I'm sure that-
Die Erlkönig.
I am sure that you do.
It's very dramatic.
It is.
It is full of Sturm und Drang.
Yes, it is. So this is a lied.
Yes.
Which was originally written as a poem by Goethe.
Yes. In fact, Schubert set a lot of Goethe's poems to music, and famously Dietrich Fischer-Dieskau, who vocalists will know, and also Schubert fans and also fans of German art song and any art song in general. Dietrich Fischer-Dieskau was a German fellow that kind of did the definitive recordings of these songs.
Okay.
He put together anthologies. He did it with his master's voice first, and then he did a bunch for Deutsche Grammophon. And they are still critically acclaimed today, these collections.
Right.
And it was a lot of Schubert, and it's, of course, a lot of Goethe's poems. And Fischer-Dieskau, I mean, incredible voice, just an incredible voice. If any of you guys want to go down a rabbit hole, go chase that guy down because it's good stuff.
Yeah, this one was not sung.
Oh, wait, what?
But by that person.
Oh, well, no, because he wasn't born yet.
Right, exactly. This song is sung by Ernestine Schumann-Heink.
Oh, okay.
Okay. She's a contralto.
Oh, yeah, you'd have to be. This is written for a baritone.
Exactly. And just like our previous hornist, she is also Bohemian born. She debuted in Dresden, an amazing woman, really, in 1878. She created the role of Clytemnestra in Strauss's Electra.
Oh.
If you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
It was a role written with her voice in mind, in fact.
Wow.
Yes.
She must have been like a big deal.
She was.
Yeah.
She was. And it gets better. She sang at the Metropolitan Opera across multiple decades. She raised 7 children while maintaining her international singing career.
Queen.
Yes. She did not let children get in the way of who she was.
Right. I mean, it's also a statement. I mean, we shouldn't have to make that statement.
Right, we should not.
Like, wow, she was a mom and had a career?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, good for her, man,
Yeah.
because that was not common back then.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely.
And 7 of them, holy Moses.
Yeah, oh, well, it gets a little stranger.
Uh-oh.
During World War I, she toured for the American troops, raising funds for the Red Cross and the YMCA, even as one of her own sons served in the German army.
Oh, that's awkward.
That's awkward.
Oh dear.
Yes, I don't know what happened afterwards. I did not go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. Oh, that's a shame.
It is.
Oh, that had to break her heart.
It must have, very
Yeah,
much so.
yeah.
This particular piece she sang and recorded multiple times. First time in 1911, which was this one. And also again in the late 1920s when they were able to record electrically. Mm-hmm. So her interpretation of it evolved over the years. So really, really fantastic, amazing woman with a great song.
Oh yeah. It's very. I don't think we should talk about what it's about until we let people hear it.
Let's listen to it first then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what year?
1911.
Okay.
Yeah, on the Victor label, on a 12-inch disc, take 1.
Oh, this is the first take.
This is the first take.
Atta girl.
Yep.
Mein Sohn, was birgst du so bang dein Gesicht? Ich war vor Not den Erdenkönig nicht. Den Erdenkönig, die Kron und Schwein. Mein Sohn, es ist ein Nebelstreich.
I presume you've read the poem.
I am aware of the poem, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. You should talk about it.
I should.
Because all right, well, first of all, contralto my ass. That's definitely a mezzo-soprano. Maybe they had different definitions for vocal ranges back then.
Maybe,
I
yeah.
don't know,
Right.
but that's definitely mezzo-soprano territory. But that is the original key, so it would have been sung by a man, of course, down the octave.
Right.
So, but it's definitely, it sits in the baritone
Yeah.
reed area, and for a male voice. But that was the original key it was written in. What we heard just now, it wasn't transposed for a female voice. So
Okay.
interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, and very stylistic for the day with that, super thin vibrato, almost constant.
Right.
But yeah, I liked it. She was good.
Yeah, I loved it. For those of you not familiar with the poem, she's actually voicing 4 different characters in that song.
Yes.
She's voicing the narrator, the father, the son, and the Erl King.
Yes.
And the story is incredibly sad. It's about the father riding through the night with his sick child, pursued by a supernatural Erl King that only the boy can see.
I mean, it's death.
It is death. That's exactly
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
It's death. And by the end of the song, death catches up with the boy.
Das Kind war tot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily a happy ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, well, Goethe was known for that. He was not the most sunshiniest of poets out there.
No. Well, I mean, he did write some beautiful poetry.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I'm thinking of Widmung
Yeah.
as one of my favorites. It's just, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you can, it veers on like tone poem territory, right? Because
Yes.
it's very dramatic. You can hear that horse just galloping through
Yes,
the
absolutely.
forest, and you can hear the terror in the boy's voice as his voice climbs the scale.
Exactly.
Gets higher pitched and higher pitched and higher pitched, and then is no more.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. Very good. Very, very good.
Yeah,
I'm glad that you picked that one because
thank
that's like kind of Schubert's. That's one of his biggest hits.
Yeah, exactly. It might have, without that, Schubert might not have been known as Schubert. He might have just been a footnote.
Oh, I doubt that.
Oh,
I really do.
Yeah,
doubt
you're
that.
probably
I really
right.
do
But
doubt
it's certainly
that.
one of his major songs.
Yeah,
Most
yeah.
well-known, yeah.
No, but yeah, it's one of his most beloved.
Yes.
because it is so good, and he does just such a brilliant job capturing, and you can hear. And I meant to say this for the last piece that we heard too, the previous one. You can hear the influence, the Beethoven influence
Okay.
because Schubert was a big fan of Beethoven, super fan, really loved his work. I think Beethoven studied with Salieri, and of course Schubert studied with Salieri as well. And so there was the Beethoven influence would have been there.
Right.
And in fact, when Schubert passed away, he requested to be buried near Beethoven.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah. And there was a point where both men were exhumed. And I want to say it was Anton Bruckner, who is a more modern composer. And I was on a Bruckner kick for a while. I was listening to a lot of Bruckner. But it said that when the graves of Beethoven and Schubert were exhumed, that I think it was Bruckner, that Bruckner took each man's skull and held it in his hand.
Oh.
Because he was such an admirer. And he's
Right.
like, wow, people felt differently about death back then. I guess.
I guess.
Either that or he wasn't like squicked out by it. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah. Yeah, so that's a fun little side note.
Yeah, and just to add to that, Schubert was only 18 when he wrote that one.
I believe it. His earliest known work, I forget what it was called, but he wrote it when he was 13.
Okay.
So he was, and to be honest, he probably wrote stuff, little things before that,
Right.
noodling around as a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
But I say noodling around as a kid. He was a wunderkind. He was a genius.
Oh, he really was.
So, yeah, but his earliest known work he wrote when he was about 13.
Okay. Neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you like that and our talkings about him, go check us out at blindskeleton.one. where we have blog posts on all sorts of fun things, vintage entertainment.
Oh, yeah, we talk about all kinds of stuff.
We do.
Yeah.
If it's vintage entertainment, 100 years, 80 years old or older, it's something that's really right in our wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I'm a photography buff. I love to use old antique photographs, cameras.
I mean, those two sometimes.
Yeah, those two, yeah. I try to, when I do it, I try to do my best to keep the film as, era appropriate as possible. So for those of you camera nerds, I try to keep the ISO around 100, because they couldn't do much better at the time. And all those types of things we enjoy, whether it's photography or music, or old movies, silence, and the list goes on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's something that we really love. And, when we can, we will write a blog article on whatever hits our fancy, and we'll post it.
Yes.
Yes.
We like the old stuff. We like antiquity. We like history. And entertainment is a part of the human experience on this plane.
Absolutely it is.
And so it's to us, it's just as important to study the entertainment of an era as it is to study the facts and the history.
Yes.
Because people made art about the stuff that was important to them.
Well, that's correct. If you think about the 5 W's of journalism, who, what, where, when, why, and how, which is not a W. History, and the quantitative aspect of it can tell us what happened, and it can tell us when it happened, and sometimes it can tell us why. In some cases it's easy. Oh, there was a drought, so we knew that the people vacated this land. But when it comes to the nuance of it, to really get the detailed part of the why were people acting like this, that's when we look to art.
Right. It can help us understand people's motivations for the decisions they made and the course of human history it took, right? Like, let's use your drought example. Like, let's say it's an ancient people that, was an agrarian society, and so water was very important to them, and maybe they wrote music to try to
right.
summon rain, because it was, or maybe they wrote music about the rain and how important it is and how wonderful it is, and maybe, it's understanding, like, that could, if they eventually picked up and moved to a better area and we didn't know why, like maybe the song clue can help us figure that out. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
I'm struggling because I'm very tired, but and that analogy was shit, but I am, it's important to understand people's motivations beyond facts.
Right. And this goes, I'm going to pull out the inner anthropologist in myself, but this goes back tens of thousands of years to ancient cave paintings. They were art. The ancient cave paintings of bulls or of phalluses or breasts, they were art that was designed to do something, and we can look at that and say, this is what was important to those people.
Right, like cave paintings about hunts.
Yes, exactly.
Things like that. And, we look at ancient art from like ancient Rome and Greece and the Middle East and Native Americas. There's art all over the Native Americas.
Yes, absolutely.
The North America, South America, like the people, the indigenous folks that lived here created their own art, and that helped us give clues. That gave us clues that helped us, beg your pardon, that helped us figure out what their society was like and what happened to them, because there are ancient civilizations that lived in the Americas that we don't know exactly what happened.
Well, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So, but we can get clues about how they lived based on their art, which survived.
Exactly.
Carvings, things
Pottery.
like that. Pottery. And
beads.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
So what we're listening to, and civilizations leave things behind, which are clues for the future.
Right.
And you and I have talked about how, it's kind of unfortunate that we live in such a digital age because we're not leaving a record.
Correct. We're not.
There will be very few papers for people to look through. And like, what happens if there's a digital like meltdown and all this great oeuvre of work that we have created digitally is now like suddenly inaccessible?
Well, or we can be more dire than that, dour perhaps. Let's say that we enter an extinction age, and another life form pops up in 300 years, and
It'll be more than 300, I think.
Yes, you know what I mean. And
the pigeons will become sentient. The cockroaches will learn speech.
Right, but they start digging, and they're like, "What are these bipedal things that we see?" And they will come across our art, up until this time, when everything's digital, and I've got no idea what to do with it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where we look at these artistic works as kind of a gift that these previous generations have left for us to help them to help us understand them.
Right.
Yeah. They didn't realize it at the time.
Yeah, and it's part of understanding the human experience. And it's something that personally to me lets me feel part of something bigger than what I am.
It's true. Yeah. It's true. It's kind of like knowing where you come from.
Yes. I mean, listening to these old songs, it's really like listening to ghosts of the past come to talk to us.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah.
Truly. So head on over to Blind Skeleton. Yeah, Blind Skeleton. Sorry, I told you I'm tired. blindskeleton.one, and you can poke around there and check out some of the stuff we have. We've got blogs. We've got it. I think you've got it separated by category.
I do.
Like photography and film and radio, I think.
Yeah,
in there.
yeah, it's up there, and it's not been updated in a timely enough fashion, other than the podcast.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know I actually do have an account for you there. I just don't think I ever shared it with you.
Nope, you sure didn't.
So we'll do that.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because I do like to write.
I know.
So I will, hopefully I'll be able to start contributing to that soon, particularly in the film category.
Yes.
Because that's kind of my jam.
It really is.
I love classic film.
Yes.
And I love old film.
Yeah.
It's anything that flickers on the silver screen, I'm there.
Yes, it's true. I will wander into the living room when Yulia's watching an old movie, and I'll be like, oh, that's fascinating. What's this? And she'll tell me, and I'll sit and watch, and we'll watch the movie. And watching a movie in this house it's a time-intensive affair, because we very often will pause the movie or the TV show or what have you to talk about it.
Yeah.
And granted, in a movie theater, that would be sacrosanct. We would probably be chased out of the theater for doing that.
Oh, they beat us with a rubber hose.
Yeah, exactly. But for us, it's part of enjoying and watching the movies. We talk about it. It's what do you think they're doing and why. And where I was going with this is Yulia will very often pause and begin to explain things to the movie about the history of it, or the actors in it, or who the director is and why he made this certain decision that he made. It's something that we enjoy. So definitely the old movies are Yulia's domain here.
Oh yeah, and I love we talked about The Lodger, Hitchcock's first film as a silent.
Yes, exactly.
He had an incredibly long career, and his first film was a silent, and it was called The Lodger. And even then, he was doing, we talk about, most people who are Hitchcock fans will know that he liked to take risks. Yeah. With shots and angles and lighting, and he was a brilliant director when it came to using light. A good visual artist knows how to use light, and boy, he was no exception.
Oh, he was a master.
Yeah, and even in his first silent film, The Lodger, he was taking risks with light and camera angles and things like that. Yeah. So it's fascinating to kind of see that arc. Right, exactly. Over history, and he didn't realize that he would be influential, but boy was he.
Oh, right. Without a doubt.
Yeah. It's great. I highly encourage you all to go over to our website and check it out. And we've also got the theater there, right? Where we can watch some silence there.
Yes, indeed.
And you can pause it as much as you want and talk about it.
Exactly. Exactly.
We also have a newsletter that is nascent, but we are working on it. Yep. And if you sign up for our newsletter, Again, we're not going to do anything weird with your information. We're not going to sell it. We're not going to give it to people. It's just for the newsletter.
Yeah.
Honest to God. We're not going to pester you. We're not
Right.
going to spam you. But if you do sign up for our newsletter, and when we eventually get around to writing it, you won't get... I don't know. We have to probably set a goal. We have for how many times?
Once every 2 weeks.
Oh, that's ambitious.
It is.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I would like to.
we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But if you sign up for a newsletter, that entitles you to a free 2-ounce sample of one of our 6 regular roasts.
Indeed. We trust our coffee that much that we are willing to provide samples at our cost to you. We believe that you will like it that much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So basically, if you sign up for our newsletter, we will then reach out to you and say, hi, thanks for signing up for our newsletter. Please tell us which address we should send this to.
Right.
And it doesn't even need to be your home address. You can send it to work. You can send it, because literally we're just going to mail it.
Yep.
And then throw it away.
Yep. We will not keep it. It can be a
Nope.
P.O. box. It can be your kid's address. Whatever.
Yeah, send it to your work.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Exactly.
We're not going to be weird.
Exactly.
Just I hate saying just trust us, because that's like, no. But yeah, we're not going to be weird.
Right.
So head on over to blindskeleton.one. Check us out. Our contact information is there. Our links to our socials are there. We only have one. It's Blue Sky.
Yes.
And our email addresses are there.
And our phone number.
And our phone number. Our phone number's not there.
Our phone number's not there.
I'll tell it to you anyway. It's 302-609-1925.
Correct.
And that'll go to voicemail. It won't ring. We won't pick up. But, say hi. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're listening from. If you've got any requests, if you've got any suggestions, if you want to give us a high five, that's great. If you've got some feedback for us, we're always open to feedback.
Absolutely.
So give us a ringy-dingy.
Give us a ring. Give us an email.
Yeah.
Go check us out.
Yep.
So moving on, our third song, I had to choose between 2.
Oh.
But ultimately, it was not a difficult decision to make.
Okay.
We are going to play Moment Musical Number 3 in F minor, Opus 94.
Okay.
I had a choice between a 1922 recording and a 1926 orthophonic recording, which is a fancy-ass word for electrical.
Oh.
So the difference being the 1922 recording would have been recorded acoustically into a big horn. The 1926 recording would have been recorded with microphones in front of each instrument.
Yeah. That probably blew people's minds.
It really did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went with the 1922 recording.
Okay.
Because this one was performed by the Philadelphia Orchestra.
Yay.
Conducted by one Leopold Stokowski.
Leopold?
So back in the first song, we had spoken about, how, for these large orchestras, the arranger and the composer, director, and such, conductor, had to modify the piece so it could be played with fewer instruments, but still give the holistic experience.
Right.
And Leopold Stokowski was a master at that. He was really good. Many of these old acoustic recordings of his and the Philadelphia Orchestra, you can only tell that they're acoustic by virtue of the fact that it's very mono and not stereo.
Okay.
And this is one of them.
Interesting.
It's got a very, very full and rich sound to it, despite it not being electrically recorded.
Okay.
So this song, or the piece, is the third of Schubert's 6 moments. I don't know how to pronounce this.
Can I see it?
Music AUX.
Musical.
Okay.
It's en français, which is weird.
Right.
So, what is this piece called?
This is Moment Musical Number 3.
Moment musical, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Number 3. Okay,
Yes.
but the word that they used was musical?
Yes.
Use that in context again? I've never heard of that before.
This was the third of Schubert's 6 moments musico.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Okay.
Right.
New one on me.
There you go.
Okay.
Yes. And it was one of his more popular songs, popular pieces.
Well, I got egg on my face. I've not heard of it. maybe it'll ring a bell when
I suspect when you listen to it. Yeah. So, of course, the Philadelphia Orchestra really became nationally known under Leopold Stokowski.
For sure.
Yeah, he led the orchestra from 1912 to 1941 and became known to a wider audience due to Disney's Fantasia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, of course, forever immortalized by Bugs Bunny.
Leopold! Everybody, I'm sure, is familiar. I say everybody, but
Right.
I mean, it's the one where Bugs Bunny is conducting the orchestra.
Yes, exactly. And he walks up to the podium, he grabs the conductor's wand, and he breaks it over his knee.
It's not a wand.
It's a wand.
It's not a wand. It's a baton. It's not a wand. The conductor's wand. The hell's wrong with you?
Lots. Because Leopold Stokowski famously refused to use one. He conducted with his hands.
Right.
Yes. Stokowski himself was obsessive about recorded sound quality, which is why it sounds so good even today. He ultimately worked with Bell Labs engineers on early experiments that would become high fidelity and stereo recording.
That's super cool.
Yes. So it was something that he was invested in the early 1920s.
Yeah.
When all they had was a horn to play into.
He was kind of an audiophile, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Like he was an acoustics nerd.
Yes.
And he was micromanagey in the best way.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
No, and this was, of course, also recorded on the Victrola Red label.
Okay.
Yes, because it's Stokowski.
And it's on one of those big discs again, or
This one, it was on a 12-inch disc.
okay.
Yes. Are we ready?
What year? You said
1922.
1922. All right, let's have it. That was brilliant.
Was it not?
Yeah, that was brilliant. And we've talked before about how usually a tuba was brought in to play what would be a traditional string bass part,
right?
Because it was difficult to record string basses just because of how low they are and how faint they usually are, and you have to really work to get that to be heard in the horn. And there was no tuba in that, but you could very clearly hear the bass.
Yeah, I mean, Stokowski figured out very early, he knew the sound that he wanted.
Yeah.
He knew the technology that was available, and he figured out how to get the sound he wanted with what he had available.
Probably did a lot of trial and error to figure
sure.
that out.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that he did some non-traditional things. Like, I'm sure that bass player was sitting like in the horn.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Probably with some earmuffs or something, so he doesn't get blasted by the other instruments that are coming in.
Yeah. The balance was incredible. It was really good.
Yeah.
And it sounded like a at least 20 pieces, like a 20-piece orchestra.
It did. It really did.
Yeah.
And I've listened to many of his acoustically recorded songs from the era, and they all sound just as good.
Yeah. That's incredible. Of course, this is later. This is 1922.
So they were making some improvements. The mica vibrator, the reproducer would have been, improved at that point. And they would have been able to make some other improvements, but it was still acoustic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Really beautiful. And this was, of course, the incomparable Philadelphia Orchestra.
Yes. Exactly.
So, of course, it was perfect.
Of course. Yes. And if you disagree with them, go tell them that, and they'll beat you down.
Yep.
Yes. We all like Philly here.
We'll send Gritty after you.
Exactly. And with that brings us to the end of this week's show.
Aw.
It's true.
This was fun. I like this.
It was a
I
good
really
one.
enjoyed this.
Yes.
Because it's fun to remember stuff that I learned a long, long time ago.
Right,
And it's a delight for me to realize that I still remember.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's Schubert's one of the best. Again, if you want to go on a deep dive with Schubert, there's no shortage of material.
That's true.
Especially the art songs, the German Lieder. They're just a delight. If you're a vocalist, if you are a voice student, you no doubt will have had experience in your classes, in your lessons, in your studies, and there's a reason for it. He turned the art song. He kind of set the bar for the art song.
Yeah.
That other people then eventually, aspired to.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So really good stuff.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun this week. I enjoyed putting this one together.
Yeah. Nice suggestion.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it was indeed.
Yeah.
Had some great songs.
Yeah.
So if you enjoyed this, we certainly enjoyed putting it together and talking to you about it. And please do join us again next week.
Yep. Don't forget to reach out to us. Go to blindskeleton.one. Get in touch with us and see what else we've got. And until then,
we will talk to you soon.
bye.